Hello guys of United Rock Nations. We are in amazing company with Kiko Loureiro. How are you?
How are you? I'm doing fine. And you?
And I'm very fine also. Thank you very much. So we are here, of course, to talk about the new album Open Source. And this is your fifth solo album. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's always feel great. There's like some kind of like anxiety just before you release, of course. It feels great to put music out. It feels great to show the final work of many hours of work and intimate work.
Absolutely,
Like your
absolutely.
intimate moments with acoustic guitar, piano, guitar, whatever. Like, and then your doubts of, is this good? Is this me? Is this good enough? Is somebody, and the first of all, and then so many ideas, then you try to collect, and then you choose the ones that you believe, that is, you feel good about it, and then the whole process is like it's a super, it's a treatment, it's like,
Okay.
so yeah, so when you put the album out, it's like always a big relief. And then I've been collecting a lot of great comments about the album, which is great. It feels good. It feels good for my ego, actually, but it feels good because it's because of that, and because people like it, and people comment. It's good for my ego, but it's good also because people comment like, oh, that's what I mainly throughout those times that we live now. It's helping me. It's good for me. That's what I needed. New music, and I'm digging it because it's an album with 11 songs, so it's like almost 1 hour. And then I've been receiving a lot of comments like this, and then that's a very good thing to read, because you can see that art in general, and it's such an important thing for us,
Absolutely, absolutely.
right? So and then I'm happy to be part of this and giving this joy or relief or whatever feeling it is to other people. So yeah.
Great. It's a great album. We love a lot the
Thank
new
you.
album. So the main lineup of the album is made up of ex-members of Angra. So since you left the band, you remain friends. So how did you choose them to record this new album?
Well, they are like actual members. Like, I'm the actual members. I'm not the one that.
Yes,
But yes,
absolutely, absolutely,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So no, but yeah. To be honest, I didn't think about that when I asked the guys, because I like so much Bruno
Yes,
Valverde, the drummer.
yes,
So he
absolutely.
was recording with me. I mean, he was playing with me live even before he joined Angra, right? So super talented young drummer, and he was going to LA. So and then he's like the perfect guy to do this kind of music, because he has all the skills, and he has all the creativity and the ideas. And also, he being a Brazilian, there's a lot of parts that we refer, sometimes sounds like Brazilian music, but not clearly. But we refer, we say like, oh, let's do like this rhythm, let's do an accent like this. And then it's good to work with a Brazilian drummer because of that. uh, and Felipe Andreoli, the same thing, the bass player, because we've been working since 2000, so it's 20 years. So he can read my mind. He plays. I mean, that's is in a way is easier to work. So they're like super amazing musicians, skilled and creative musicians. Uh, People easy to work with. I know the personalities and the way to work. So when you're doing a solo album, it's a lot of stuff to do myself,
Yes,
So you need people that helps you and is great to work with. You don't need uh, more difficulties, as in relationship or whatever.
exactly,
So
exactly.
great people that you know and you trust and all that. And yeah, and so the practical side, the creative side, and the skills side. So yeah,
That's the reason why you choose them. Okay, I
yes, yeah.
understand. And of course, there is some guest musicians on the album, and Marty Friedman played on one of song Imminent Threat. Since you joined Megadeth, we often compare your style, your guitar style to him. How was he involved on this new album?
Well, no, he was a guest in that song. You know, he was not involved in the
Yes, Imminent
album.
Threat. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, well, the whole concept of the album that we can talk later, but basically, I think was a message. When you're doing instrumental music,
yes,
you're sending message as an artist. Is an art form of doing, and then how are we gonna tell people things that you believe without words, right? And with attitude. So the attitude of, well, the last 5 years, every time, I mean, in internet, most of the time you hear my name, probably in the same paragraph, you're going to have Marty Friedman name, right? And some sort of a comparison, or who is better, or he's bad, or Kiko can play, cannot play, is not the same, whatever it is. And that, of course, I'm a big fan of, I'm younger than Marty, but then I remember listening to his albums.
Yes.
Back, late 80s, and then seeing his concert with Megadeth in 91, Rock in Rio. And then I was always like a fan of, as I'm a fan of many guitar players, and I really dig his style and things like this. And then the last 5 years, I've been learning his solos and get into his music and trying to be me, and then with all this comparison of the internet. So the best way to send the message that music's not a competition was to bring the guy that people think would have some kind of a competition or feeling that about this comparison. So like here it is, a guy that I love his music, and I love his playing, and I respect the whole thing, and I of course respect the years in Megadeth, and then I'm a big fan. And I'd love him to have in my album and send the message that music cannot be a competition, because the competition is always with yourself.
Yes.
That's the competition. The competition is always like, am I good enough for me, or am I evolving as a musician, as a person, as a guitar player, or not? So it's like me compared to my younger, my 2019, 2018, is there a difference? So that's the competition. This new album shows something different from the previous album. It's something evolving somehow. So it's not me comparing to anybody else. And the subject of this album is a lot related to the internet and the way we live nowadays. And then I think people compare themselves too much to the other things they see on the internet.
It's normal. It's natural.
I mean, I know everybody does. And then how you detach from that. So how you can have a little bit of control on that, the anxiety, the illness that this can bring. That's the bad side of the internet, the social media. So nothing better than bring Marty Friedman, people would think that would be a competitor in a way, and Matheus Assato, which is a young Brazilian, super well-known guitar player, millions of followers and stuff like that, and the younger generation of Brazilian. So my idea, because I'm a big fan of the guy as well, and they don't compare much me and him because we play different styles, but also he's a very well-known, famous Brazilian guitar player from the very new generation. He's like 20-something years old.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's amazing. So I like nothing better than showing the new generation from Brazil, because Brazil will be always one of the best exporters of music, I believe, because it's such a incredible country when you talk about arts and music. So we have another talented guy to show to the world, and that's a reason of having him as well, the two guests.
And you have also Doug Wimbish of Living Colour.
Well, this is what I did, but that's from another song, not from this album.
Not from this album?
No. Yeah, it was for the previous album. Yeah, Doug Wimbish recorded the bass, which was fun. I met Doug Wimbish. He's an amazing guy. And then the song he participated was from the previous album. I just could hear him playing because I did tours with him, and then so many great musicians in the world, you know.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the writing process of the two songs. First of all, are they all new songs, or some of them are older stuff that you record a long time ago and then you discover again just before the release of the album?
They are all new songs, but one specific intro. There's an there's an acoustic part in the last song that called Du Monde.
Yes.
The French.
Absolutely. Du Monde, and, yes.
Yeah. And so that acoustic part was from a song from Angra from '98. And then it's not the entire song, it's just that thing. But I always play that part. For some reason I never forgot, because we forget the old ideas. I always liked, and then I said, like, I have to put this thing out somehow. And then I wrote the rest of the song around that acoustic thing. And then very, very, very Deep Purple with Steve Morse like kind of, you know, for me, you know. There's even the Hammond, my wife Maria Moniem, she recorded.
Yes, Maria, yes, absolutely.
And bringing that, because at that time was a Perpendicular album from Deep Purple with Steve Morse. I'm a big fan of Steve Morse. And then I remember that period. Actually, I went in listening to watch Deep Purple, maybe in '99 or something like that, in France. So kind of that vibe.
So when you pick the guitar and begin to write, what are you thinking of? What are you thinking about? What inspires you when you pick the guitar or the piano? What inspires you in this riff, this gimmick?
You know what? So
is the state of mind of the moment, or
is the state of mind of the moment? I believe it's very hard to explain. Maybe some professionals would explain this better, but it's a state of mind of the moment, and you have some sounds that you're related to throughout your life. So as just mentioned, this Deep Purple thing, that sound, it can be a Deep Purple because I was listening to Deep Purple. It can be a song from my childhood, or can be that specific. It normally is related to some old stuff, you know. It's not much related to what I hear now, you know. Melodies that comes to your mind. The aesthetic of the song, we're gonna use an A-string guitar, gonna sound like this. This is modern, this is what you're hearing now. But the actual music, the sounds, why the chord goes to another chord, this is like it's deep inside. It is deep inside. And then I could really, after writing, I can say, like, this comes from this song from Brazil, this kind of reminds me my mother, whatever, you know, something. So this is like really deep inside of things that remained inside you. So, and then it's a state of mind because you try to let this come out in your own way. And then you put the guitars or you put the drums, and then you create all the stuff. But if you really take all the instrumentation somehow and put it down in acoustic guitar, you can kind of understand where the melodies and stuff is coming from. So it's a state of mind at the moment, but you don't analyze much. It's interesting because then you analyze from a distance. So now I listen to the album.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, this is like, and then you discover some stuff, you know, about you. It's like, it's funny, you know, it's like watching a video. I don't know. It's like, it's just, you discover things about you. Oh, why I'm playing like this, you know? Even why the album, people saying like the album sounds modern or sounds, you know, and they say, why is that? Well, the whole thing was like living in LA, you know, living in LA. It took me to a different place as a person, you know, and there's like a little bit more cinematic vibes, I guess, because I got into a little bit more listening more to to the sound. But then again, this is more instrumentation kind of thing.
Yes.
So like soundtracks, a little bit of get into this world a little bit. Yeah, which is like the modernity of that is not, it's because the soundtracks are like I don't know, it's more like, how to explain, it's not clear melodies sometimes, it just vibes.
Yes, yes,
right?
I understand. Yes.
So yeah, so that you have this in the album, and I didn't notice. I noticed after, you know.
After, yes, when you listen after, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So what is that? You know, but maybe because it's the LA thing. Maybe if I would be living in France, I would be, I don't know, would be more like some, you know, more like a jazz manouche kind of.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know, or
Why
it
not?
would be more like a more pentatonic, like Debussy.
Yes, I
You know,
understand.
which I love this too, and I can hear. There's a song there, EDM.
Yes, EDM, yes.
EDM. So the melody, I didn't notice, but like everybody compares to, it sounds 8-string, sounds modern. But one guy comments, "Oh, this is very sortie," and then I said, he got it, because that's a guy that I listen to. Because that's the like, that's what I'm talking. It's really deep inside kind of melodies that makes me feel good. And then the pentatonics, the way Debussy or Satie or like a Grieg, those composers they were using, discovering the modes kind of in those times, very relaxing. That's something that I really like. And then all the time I put for me to listen to.
What is the message you wanted to deliver with the video of EDM?
Well, the message is like, well, basically, so the open source, the power of the internet. So internet, so the life that we live now, well, the virtual life and the real life, right? Which kind of fucking, we're like a virtual, but we're live. We're existing living being, but we're
behind.
I see you in pixels here. So this life is, and this is before the corona, of course, but the even more right now. The internet has two great forces, which is a very powerful force, which is the open source force. So you have the power of collaboration. So suddenly you have the entire world creating great stuff, helping the AIs to help our lives, or creating Wikipedia would be the best first example. Like the collaboration of people creating like an encyclopedia.
Absolutely.
And then anyone can, and then everybody relates to that. So if you want to know about something, you go to something that a collaborative thing, right? So, and YouTube is the same. How many amazing stuff you find on YouTube of people spending the time for free to put things together, right? Or for free, or they have all the interest anyways. But and all the companies, the big companies, they rely on the use of the users, right? Or it can be Uber, or can be the ratings of the products on Amazon, or can be anything, right? The Google and then all this. So that's the great power of internet. So the guy can learn how to tap dance in Sri Lanka with a video from a guy from LA, a top dancer. You know, the guy from a poor city from Brazil can learn how to play the violin from the top player from the Paris Orchestra.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So that's the power in the very democratic way. And the more you can give internet to the world, to the people that still don't have it, the more powerful things we're gonna have for the humankind. Oh, that's great. So that's the idea of the open source. So I'm giving soon are gonna be available all the open tracks, right, of the album, so you can get the drums and create a new song from the drums.
Fantastic.
You know? So you can do a better melody, because I believe the art form that I did on this album, it shouldn't be the best. It shouldn't be final. Just that's my point of view. So I'm giving this and the power of collaboration. Of course, some guy is gonna play better than me. Of course, somebody's gonna do a better riff or different, because the word better is not good to use in music, but or different, and then I have to be ready and open for that, and then which is the future. So
Absolutely.
every time you see something on the internet, you take it as a good positive thing. Oh, it's great. People are doing like amazing stuff, you know. But then there's the bad side, the bad force, the illness and anxiety, and then all the dependency, the independent mind, the dependency of something, and then you completely addicted, and makes you feel bad, and then it's like, and it's liquid. The liquid times, like you're not connecting to anything.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have a hard relation with anybody, because you are swipe away from another girl, from another guy, from another video, from another thing. You don't know what to do. You just get lost. It's very liquid, and then and you put yourself in this situation. It's like the Pamplona running with the bulls stuff. You fucking put yourself in the front of the bulls, and now fucking run away from this, or you just. So they have a song with that name. They're running with the bulls or from the bulls, or you know. So you put yourself in this situation actually, but you're just addicted to that. You know, every time you're gonna open your phone, it's gonna make you sad. It's very possible that every time you open an Instagram and then make you depressed, because you're gonna see a lot of people way better than you. And how do you put yourself there? And then you get addicted to something that destroys you. It's like a drug.
So that's the message behind the ADM.
Yeah, okay. That's the message.
Just before you talk about Running with the Birds, it's one of the songs I want to talk about, because the rhythm approach is really interesting. The way the drums, the rhythm Bruno did on this song is really interesting. Tell us more about that song, of the songwriting of that song.
Well, that's first of all, I always wanted to have a clap in my song. You know, I like the clap. Like it's such a organic, basic things, like the first instrument you learn when you're. So I love of the Spanish music, of course, and then any music have people clap, but of course the flamenco has that. That's why kind of the name of the song brings a little bit of a flamenco thing. But also I love Pat Metheny, and there's a song, maybe one or two songs from Pat Metheny, also with the claps.
Yes.
And then
I love this guitarist. It's fantastic.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So it's kind of gives like a world music vibe, you know, when you have the claps and it's a 7/8 groove, so it's a clap in 7/8. But the 7/8 is it's kind of a common thing in Brazil for the samba. It's very samba-like. But then the atmosphere a little bit more trying to go Spanish in a Spanish way. But my influences, so it's like I'm saying, like Pat Metheny. I'm talking about, you know, like a Spanish flamenco Paco de Lucia thing. The chords for me is very Piazzolla kind of chords, very sad. The harmony, the melody too is very sad. I was very melancholic, because if you listen to the album, and I think it relates to some people because it's very melancholic in that way, and then it comes from the Brazilian music. It's very melancholic. I mean, the Portuguese, Brazilian, this somehow it's not. It's different. It's very different from American music in general. Like a ballad a ballad for like Tears in Heaven for Eric Clapton. The guy's talking about his child that died, and then he's like in a major chord. You know, it's very optimistic. While the Latin melodies or the fado from Portugal, it's like always very minor in the you know, and the flamenco is even minor because it's this the Phrygian. I don't want to talk about, you know, scale name of the scales, but like it's a more even the jazz manouche is very minor. At least some are major too, of course, but happy. But you have this minor French stuff as well. So and then the structure of the song is very confusing. But also I was writing like this, and then I like it because I'm also experimenting on structure, which is like, instead of having, okay, that's the verse, that's the chorus.
Yes.
Now I have a solo, then it comes back the verse and the chorus, and then double chorus at the end. So, so that's like basic structures.
Yes, exactly.
So I was experimenting with the like more evolving structures, but it's more like a feeling. It happened like that, and I let it be like this. I didn't want to correct something that just happened, and to be in a form that we know, like, which is basically like the or in a classical form, or in the pop song form. Yes, I didn't want to put inside a box. Just let it be. Yes, but absolutely. Of course, you have to have the elements that comes back. Otherwise, it's like just like a mess. So yes. The clap and the grooves kind of make it like a even line, through the song, and the Spanish vibe somehow. So, and then in the end, it comes back the intro. So it has some kind of form.
Absolutely. There's a lot of beautiful songs on the new album, but one of my favorites is Dreamlike. Tell us more about that song, the songwriting of that song. I love a lot that song.
Yeah, so this is like a more, I try to balance an album with some more experimental stuff, like
exactly
the blues, and then Dreamlike is a kind of it's more like a pop structure. So the structure is
absolutely
simple. It starts straight. There's no beginnings, like straight to the melody. It's a major melody, so it's kind of more optimistic. Is a dreamlike. It's like a flying, feeling, yes. Which is the way the song came. I wrote the idea, like I remember the day. I was just like backstage, fucking waiting.
On a Megadeth tour. On a Megadeth tour.
No, actually, it was a small play. It was a guitar clinic.
Okay.
It was a guitar clinic, small stuff, and just waiting alone there, and with the guitar, instead of like warming up, would it be like warming up? Yes. I was like dreaming, and playing the stuff and enjoying the sound of the two chords, basically.
Yes.
I have this, which is more like a awakened dream, kind of. You're just there, but you're not there. And then suddenly I noticed, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I recorded on my phone
okay.
This kind of moments. That's the way it happens. And then you have to trust the good feeling. You trust the good feeling of that moment. I was alone in a small room, like just waiting, and then playing.
Yes.
Me with myself. So you kind of trust the moment, and you record that. And then if later on, like months later, that moment still touches you somehow, okay, let me work on that.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
On the new album, did you play with different guitars or mainly with Ibanez one?
Mainly with Ibanez, yeah. So yes, was like my 6 strings, my model, most of this different guitars, because they have sometimes a different sound. But Kiko 100, Kiko 200, that's the name of the models.
Yes, exactly.
So 6 strings, a lot of that. So maybe like 4 different guitars. I used one AZ from Ibanez, and the 7 strings and 8 strings.
Oh, okay.
Ibanez. Yeah. So that was the bass. I took some other guitars. I have a Ibanez Stallman, was more like Strat-like, Stella-like. I didn't use much that one. I used a Fender Telecaster for the Dreamlike.
Yes.
The Dreamlike has a Fender Telecaster because I wanted that sound. And then, yeah.
But it's from Ibanez.
Yeah, I mean, 90% is Ibanez. Even the clean sounds. I took Strats there to have the clean sounds, but it sounds too much like a Strat, and I didn't want.
So we know that you are recording a new album with Megadeth. Can you tell us more about the new song or something about this new album? Is it possible to have some breaking news about it?
I'm gonna answer fast because I have the other interview coming up.
Okay.
Well, the new album we did last year, all the composition period, and now it's then the corona we would finish now. They've had the cancer, so we stopped the process.
Absolutely.
So he's fully recovered.
He's going well now.
Yes. So the idea, the corona kind of interrupted the whole thing now. So basically, we're discussing now how to do it and when to do it, because everybody lives in a different state.
Exactly.
So that's what's going on. But at some point now this year, we will finish what we started last year. And Dave is working, tweaking the songs, and we talk and writing the lyrics and stuff like that,
And how it will sound? It will sound at the previous album?
Then we don't know. That's too early to tell. Then we do another interview.
Okay.
I really don't know because I mean it's Megadeth, and then it's really good. The songs are really good. That I can tell you.
Okay.
And then even giving this waiting time was good because you can tweak little things and changing tempos and little parts, add the extra part. So it's good in a way to have this wait. But the songs are really good. They turn out to be really good.
Fantastic. So
I'm happy. So this is a good feeling.
Thank you very much, Kiko, for all this information about the album. We hope you the best for this new album and hope to see you very soon here in France.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
À bientôt.
À bientôt. Au revoir.